afternoon, everybody. This is Irene Weisman, immigration attorney. Today is Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. Today I want to continue talking about parole. I started yesterday. It was a very brief segment, and it was yesterday. The segment was on the expansion of the uh, the expedited removal and how it affects people that had parole. So today I want to discuss this a little bit more and just in general talk about parole, okay? So let's separate it out a little bit first, okay? So we have parole that people were issued. For example, you are an applicant for a family-based adjustment of status. Sorry, everybody. So you're an applicant for adjustment for family-based adjustment of status, and you have a pending case, and you were issued advance parole so that you could travel outside of the United States for the while your case is pending, right? That's also parole, right? You would leave and then you would return on that parole. Same with DACA recipients, right? Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. You needed to travel abroad. You applied for and received advance parole, okay? You received that parole, you travel abroad, you come back to the United States on that parole. I don't know what's going on with my phone. And TPS, you have TPS, okay? You applied for advance parole, you travel outside of the United States, you return using that advance parole. Those advance paroles are still okay, okay? So nothing, the executive order, the further guidance, that has nothing to do with those paroles, advance paroles that were issued to you. Now, having said that, there could be, upon return, there could be secondary inspections, just longer time to travel. That could certainly happen, okay? But the executive order does not impact those advance paroles. Now, let's talk about other paroles. The Cuban, Nicaraguan, Haitian, Venezuelan paroles that were part of the previous administration's policy, those are done, okay? Those are canceled, those are done, and if you were to search, I think they archived them on the government's website. So no more of those paroles, okay? But and I think that's the guidance that we have, and the executive orders and the further guidance. I think they sort of want to target those people on those paroles from my reading of it, okay? So the Haitian, Nicaraguan, Venezuelan, Cuban paroles are done, okay? No more. If case was approved, you were waiting for travel authorization, not gonna happen, okay? Now, sort of under the same guise, even before we started having those paroles, the government had the Uniting for Ukraine parole and the parole for Afghans that were displaced. Now, the government hasn't said yet anything about people on those paroles, okay? Again, having said that, we do know that there were a couple of flights with Afghani nationals whose flights were canceled with the issuance of the executive orders. There are also instances where Ukrainians are waiting for travel authorizations for a very long time. I personally, again, just from my reading of it, even though those have not been expressly canceled, that's going to become on a case-by-case basis. Again, from just simply my reading of things, they haven't said that they expressly canceled the U4U, which is, the Uniting for Ukraine or the Afghani parolees, but very much discretionary now, very much case by case. And once again, in my opinion, I think it also interferes because there is an executive order canceling all the orders, guidance, whatever issued by the previous administration, and those programs were created under the previous administrations. Okay, and so I don't know because technically, with that executive order, with that stroke of a pen, it should have canceled it, but now they're saying maybe it didn't. That's why I'm saying that I think it's a case by case basis, and if you are here on a U for U parole or on on a parole as an Afghan national, I think it's time for you to meet with an immigration attorney, sit down and look at your options, what options you may have to figure out your immigration situation. And if you enter the United States under the parole program for, uh, you know, from one of those four countries, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, or Cuba, again, because that parole is gone, and this is, I believe, that whole expansion memo that I spoke about yesterday, I think that's what it has to do with. Okay, so definitely set up an appointment with your attorney and have a discussion as to what your options are. Maybe you have already taken steps, okay, to legalize, but if you have not, okay, it's time to meet with your attorney. And again, as a general matter, as a general practice, I'm sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on with my phone or my computer and my phone. Everything is sort of going off, blinking at me. It's just been a crazy, crazy day. But, anyways, returning to my point, um, if you are traveling on advanced parole, expect secondary inspection, expect longer waiting periods, possibly more vetting at the airports. I would have your important receipt and approval notices with you, just in case, so that you have everything handy and you can show it to the officer, so that everything goes much smoother. Okay. So hopefully that provided a little bit more of an explanation for you on what is happening with paroles. Okay? Talk to you soon, everybody.